Hi everybody, Dan Illman here with the DRF race of the day for Monday, August the 8th. It's race number 6 at Assiniboia Downs. $3,500 beaten claimer going 7 furlongs. That's 2 turns over the main track. Want to view free Formulator past performances for this race? Head to the Race of the Day page at DRF.com. Don't forget to subscribe to the Daily Racing Form YouTube channel and bet this card with DRF Bets. Let's take a peek at this field. Please scan the QR code for Race of the Day access on your mobile device. The 6th race at Assiniboia Downs, our Race of the Day, is the 3rd leg in the $1 Pick 4, which has a $50,000 guaranteed pool, and this race seems wide open. It might be a spread leg in that pick 4 with a $50,000 guaranteed pool. Let's throw up the Timeform US pace projector. It appears that the pace is coming from the outside in this race in a blue bar situation. In Timeform US parlance, that favors horses on or near the early lead, so perhaps the pace won't be very fast. Praise Loudly, the number 8, showed good speed last time out. Now he faltered, but it was over a sloppy track. It was only his 2nd start of the year. I think he's much better on firmer going, and I think he'll show speed in here. He's going to have to work to get it, perhaps, from the far outside post with a relatively short run going into the first turn, but Praise Loudly could certainly show speed and an improved performance. Convict Pike, I think, will also show speed, the number 7. This is a horse that showed tactical speed sprinting last time out, going 6 furlongs, so he's stretching out in distance, and I think the jock should be aggressive with this horse. Get him right up close to the pace. His first race at the Downs was okay. He seems like a nice fit at this level, and he's going to be a big price. Perhaps he can take advantage if the pace is moderate up front. Let's start our analysis with the number 1, Barley Boy, who got a confidence boost last time out. He dropped down to a $2,500 non-winners of 1 year claiming race, and he came up with this effort over a sloppy track, a career best 57 Beyer speed figure. Now, he tracked the pace from the inside. He was under a ride on the back stretch, split horses on the turn, got to the outside, and as you see, grinding down the leader late to win by 3/4 of a length. Now, it's quite possible that the class drop that day, coupled with the wet track, really worked to his favor, and he is going to have to improve as he steps right back up in class. But he draws the inside post and can save valuable ground going into the first turn. As we see from that last race, he is in good form, and I think he has the tactical speed to get a pretty good trip-saving ground while in behind the leaders. So he's 15-1 in the morning line. He is going to have to prove his mettle at this tougher class level, but that last race was likable enough, and again shows he's in form. It was a career best Beyer performance. The 2, Hoochiecoochie Sam, is a very logical contender because he is taking a huge and deserved class drop. He has been competing recently in $7,500 open claiming races, so this is a double drop in class. Not only down from $7,500 to $3,500, but he was facing open claimers, and he's in against beaten claimers here. His last race, just a throwout, a tough outside post going 7.5 furlongs, into tough, 16-1 that day. He's going to be a much shorter price. He should be a much shorter price. He has plenty of Beyer speed figures on his page that make him extremely tough. Hoochiecoochie Sam, the number 2, hasn't been this cheap for a long time. This is a great opportunity for him to get his confidence back and perhaps back to his winning ways. Now, he'll likely be a shorter price than another horse double dropping in class, the number 3, Gavin. And not only is he double dropping in class, this horse might be racing himself back into shape. He's only had 2 starts thus far since going to the sidelines last summer at the Downs. And last time out in an open $5,000 claiming race, he faced an odds-on winner in a race where the 3rd place horse would come back to run 3rd again with a respectable 48 Beyer speed figure in a $5,000 non-winners of 4 life race. I do believe Gavin is rounding himself back into form. He has raced well over this track in the past. I'd like to see more of the tactical speed that he showed last year, especially 4 starts back, when he won last summer at the Downs going 7.5, where he got close to a really slow pace. And maybe that's just the key. Maybe if the pace is slow, he's adaptable enough to stay close. His 2 starts this year, he has come from out of it. I'd like to see him close to the pace. I'm expecting an improved performance. I think 7-1 is a very fair price. Cabin John is the number 4. I think this horse had an excuse last time out. He was going 6 furlongs, and he actually showed some pretty good speed. It was a fast pace up front. He was pushing 3 horses to his outside for the first quarter mile, and then he got steadied and shuffled back entering the turn, and I think that hurt his chances. He tried to get into it with a 4-wide bid turning into the long stretch, and he was just one paced at the end. I think he deserves a bit of a mulligan for that performance. He showed speed 2 starts back. This is a horse that hasn't gotten to the winner's circle in a while. I do think he's a little bit better than he looks on paper. I do want a little bit more than the 5-1 on the morning line. I just want to see him kick a little bit harder in the stretch. The 5 El Chairman, very respectable performance in the first start off the Jared Brown claim. We're going to watch that race right now. He's a $3,500 now-winners of 1 year. We're going to see him rally into second. He didn't break well from the inside post that day. I just think the rail draw affected him a bit. He, I think, benefited from the fast pace up front, and maybe you want to say he's not going to get a similar situation in this race. Now, I do believe if the fractions are slower, he can stay closer to the pace, given an alert break, but I think this race might dress him up a bit, especially at 9-5 on the morning line. Is he a strong contender in this race? Obviously, he has several Spire speed figures, especially from last summer, that would make him very tough, but in the race we just saw, the pace was very fast, it fell apart, the winner came from last, El Chairman came from next to last. I think they were helped by the fractions, and he might not get that set up here. So demand a little bit of value on this runner. The 6 is Plum Lucky, and Plum Lucky was actually part of that fast pace last time out, and maybe you want to be forgiving for him. He drew an outside post. He was hustled out of there. There were 4 or 5 horses just lining up early, and Plum Lucky was one of the horses that paid the price. If you go back to his race 2 back, going 7 furlongs around 2 turns, he actually ran quite well to be second. My issue with Plum Lucky is that's been the story of his career. 15 seconds, 14 thirds, way more seconds and thirds than wins. In a pick 4 scenario, maybe not the most likable trait in the world, but he's a horse that you can consider on the bottom of single race exotics because he can get a piece, and he can get a piece at a price. Convict Pike is the number 7. He made his first start at the Downs last time out, going 6 furlongs. I thought he ran okay that day. He chased inside. He was on a hard chase on the turn to go after the big leader, and he just tired in the final 1/8 of a mile. I think being on the chase hurt him. I think that stretching out is going to help him get close to the pace and relax. He's done good work around 2 turns in the past, albeit on turf. The runner-up from that last race came back to run 3rd in an open $5,000 race with a 56 buyer. So I think that 54 buyer last time, pretty legitimate for Convict Pike. I think he fits well at this level. His speed works well, and he's 10-1 on the morning line. You might not want to sleep on this horse. I think we're going to see a little bit more out of him as he gets out in distance. Praise Loudly completes the field. He is the expected pace setter, according to Timeform US. He did show the way last time out. I don't think the wet track is what he wants. It's his 3rd start off of a lengthy layoff. I think he could be racing himself back into form, but he's going to have to really hustle from this outside post position to get position going into the first turn. And even though I do think he's going to be forward, it's possible he won't make the lead if the 7's ridden very aggressively. Praise Loudly to me. Wait and see approach. He is a big price on the board. I don't want to knock him too much. It's a wide open race. I want to look for a price. I do respect horses like El Chairman. I really respect a horse like Hoochiecoochie Sam. I'm going to take a little bit of a flyer with a sharp horse down on the rail. Barley Boy, I think, can work out his own trip as he did last time out. I think he can break from the rail, tuck in behind the leaders, and if he gets a clear run, maybe he can grind these horses down at a price like he did last time out. 1742 for me, race 6. Assiniboia Downs, your DRF race of the day. It's part of the $1 pick 4 with a $50,000 guaranteed pool. Good luck.